In the bustling village of Odom, where red clay roads curved between clusters of ancient trees and corrugated rooftops shimmered under the sun, the air buzzed with excitement. It was the wedding day of Amaka Okoro, the only daughter of Chief Sylvanus Okoro, the wealthiest and most influential man in the region. Preparations had begun months in advance. There were whispers that the wedding would be the most extravagant the village had ever seen. Imported white roses had been flown in from Lagos. A golden carpet was laid from the church gates all the way to the altar. 2 live bands were scheduled to perform, and even the local radio station came to cover the event. Amaka, 25 and undeniably beautiful, was everything society expected of a bride: elegant, poised, and, most importantly, the daughter of power. Her white gown sparkled like diamonds, hand-stitched with crystals and lace flown in from Italy. She stood in front of her full-length mirror, surrounded by her bridesmaids who complimented her every breath. "You're the definition of perfection," one of them said. Amaka smiled, the corners of her lips sharp with satisfaction. But not far from this display of glamour, life told a different story. Chika's feet ached. Her swollen belly made each step heavy, and the faded slippers on her feet barely held together. 8 months pregnant and alone, she stood across the street from St. Joseph's Catholic Church, the same place she used to attend Mass every Sunday with her parents before tragedy swallowed her childhood. She had lost her parents to a fire at the age of 13. Since then, she'd been passed around like a burden, first to an aunt in Abakba, then to a cousin in Quo who treated her more like a maid than family. She worked hard, kept to herself, and dreamed of someday becoming a nurse. But her education stopped in SS2 when the family said they couldn't waste money on an orphan. Then came Emeka, tall, soft-spoken, with dreams of his own. He noticed her while she was buying vegetables in the market one day. They spoke. He helped her carry her basket. He started visiting her, bringing suya and biscuits. Before long, he promised her love, a home, and a future. "I don't care what anyone says, Chika," he whispered to her one night by the river. "You're everything I've ever wanted." She believed him. She gave herself to him. Then he vanished. For weeks, no word. Not even when she sent messages through friends. Not even when she began to feel sick and the test strip turned positive. Not even when her belly began to rise. And just when her despair had turned into numb acceptance, a neighbor whispered that Emeka was marrying Amaka Okoro. The sun was high when the wedding convoy rolled into the church compound. Children ran around barefoot, chasing the tires of the decorated cars. Women adjusted their wrappers and gossiped in hushed tones. Everyone was waiting for the bride. Chika sat on a bench under the mango tree opposite the church. She had debated coming. She wasn't here to cause trouble, just to see with her own eyes that the love Emeka swore to her had become a lie. Her faded wrapper was the only thing she had left that fit her swollen belly. Her blouse, once sky blue, was now washed dull. She tried to blend in, tried not to cry. Then Amaka stepped out of her car. Heads turned. Cheers rang out. Phones flashed. Amaka smiled, soaking in the glory like a queen crowned by the sun. And then she saw Chika. Her eyes narrowed. For a moment she paused like a snake before a strike. "Wait," she said, tugging at her veil. Is that her?" Her bridesmaids followed her gaze. "Yes," one whispered. "That's the girl. The orphan. The one they said is pregnant for Emeka." Amaka's lips curled. "Perfect," she said coldly. "Let's make this a day she never forgets." As Amaka reached the church entrance, she stopped and turned toward the crowd. Her voice, clear and sharp, rang out across the compound. Well, look who we have here," she said loudly. Chika looked up, startled. "Chika the homewrecker, the pregnant charity case. Did you come to crash my wedding?" The crowd grew silent. Heads turned. Children froze. Chika stood up slowly, pressing her hand to her belly. Her face flushed with shame. "I didn't mean to." "To what?" Amaka snapped. "To remind us you have no class, no family, no shame." Laughter rippled through the crowd. "She has no husband," Amaka continued. "But look at her belly. big like she swallowed a drum. Gasps, murmurs. Some people laughed. Others shook their heads in pity. Security, Amaka barked. Get her out, before her poverty spreads like disease. Two ushers hesitated but approached. Please, Chica whispered, tears falling. I just wanted to sit. You wanted attention, Amaka spat. Well, now you have it. But not in my church. As Chica walked away, hunched in pain and shame, her back was straightened only by the strength of her unborn child and the last drop of dignity she had left. Inside the church, the ceremony began. The priest welcomed the guests and praised the union about to take place. But Emeka looked pale. His hands trembled. His lips stayed sealed. When the moment came and the priest asked, "Do you, Emeka, take Amaka to be your lawfully wedded wife?" Silence followed. Emeka looked out into the crowd. His eyes landed on the empty bench under the mango tree. He saw Chica's tears in his mind like a ghost that refused to leave. I can't," he said. A gasp erupted. The priest blinked. Amaka stared at him like a statue cracking. "I said I can't," Emeka repeated. "I got someone pregnant. I lied to her. I abandoned her." "Are you mad?" Amaka shouted. "I am," he said. "Mad with guilt." He pulled the ring off and dropped it. "I can't marry you, Amaka. I still love Chica." The wedding collapsed like a house of cards. Amaka fainted. Her father stormed out. The guests scattered like ants. And Emeka, he left the church and walked barefoot, searching for the girl he had wronged. He found her sitting behind the market, crying into her palms. "I'm sorry," he whispered. She looked up, eyes red and swollen. "It's too late. I want to be part of the baby's life. I want to make things right." Chica stood. "You can't undo the shame. You let her humiliate me like I was nothing." "I was afraid," he admitted. "And now I want to be brave." A month later, Chica gave birth to a baby girl. She named her Ifunanya, love remains. The villagers who once whispered began to change their tune. People came with baby gifts. The local women's group helped her find a better place to stay. Even the priest visited and blessed her child. Emeka came every day. He brought food, clothes, money, but more than that, he brought sincerity. "I'm not asking for forgiveness yet," he told her one day as he cradled the baby. "But I'll earn it." Chica said nothing, but a part of her heart, long frozen, began to thaw. Meanwhile, Amaka became a recluse. She refused to be seen, refused to eat. Her wedding photos were deleted. Her social media was silent. Her father lost 2 political deals because of the scandal. Her mother stopped attending church. Everywhere Amaka went, she felt eyes on her. People no longer called her the Queen of Odem, but the girl who bullied a pregnant orphan and lost. Her wealth couldn't buy her peace. Her beauty couldn't erase the shame. One day, she drove past the market and saw Chica carrying her baby, smiling. And for the first time in her life, Amaka felt what true poverty was. Not the absence of money, but the absence of kindness. 6 months passed. Chica now worked at the local health center. The matron, impressed by her discipline, paid for her to begin evening classes again. She walked to work every day, her baby strapped to her back, her heart growing stronger. Emeka rented a small apartment near hers. He had started a fish farm with help from his uncle. He asked to co-parent, not to intrude but to help. Eventually, Chica invited him to her baby's first birthday. He came with a cake, toys, and a trembling heart. "I never stopped loving you," he said, "but I broke us. Let me help rebuild it." Chica looked at her child, then at the man who once betrayed her, now humbled. "We'll take it one step at a time," she said. Years passed. Chica finished her nursing degree. Ifunanya grew into a bright girl with her mother's eyes and her father's smile. Emeka never left. He proved his worth in quiet ways.